Alrighty. So I've been working on, I should have brought one of the earrings over here, on a scale mail jewelry for a company I'm calling Charmware that I'm going to be launching soon. Still need to get an LLC up and running, but we're getting there. So anyway, if you are curious, you can go to charmware.tech, which is where I'm sharing this stuff. Basically, the concept is that I'm making jewelry that you can store data in, and also jewelry that lights up with these custom circuit boards that I've been designing. I'm very excited about this. It's sort of like basically, I've been afraid of starting a small business for a long time, for many years, but I've always wanted to. Just have a place to put the various things that I make and I think people would enjoy. Um, and so this is like sort of me finally making a go of that. I'm trying to fix my light here. But there have been a few issues along the way, so uh, it's going pretty smoothly. But the video gods have not been on my side this week, and in general, there've been snafus. So for one thing, let me just show you some of these real quick. I'm gonna have to adjust my camera, but I picked up a bunch of these scales, basically. Scale mail scales from Fire Mountain Gems a while back. And this is one of the nice ones, but I noticed that a lot of them have these sort of like scuffs and scratches. Even this one, now that I'm looking at it. On the back, we've got some dings. Didn't even notice that before. That's definitely new. Or not, rather not new. It's like definitely been around. Let me show you some more of these, because so out of, buying maybe 25 of these or so at a time, you get ones like this, where there's just a big old scratch in the middle of it. And I thought that some of this had to do with like shipping and stuff, and maybe it had to do with Fire Mountain not having like the best suppliers or whatever. More sort of dings in here and like scuffs. Got a little optical illusion in there. But like, if I'm making jewelry and selling jewelry and wanting to charge a reasonable amount for it to make it sustainable, it's a little concerning when a lot of these pieces have little just quality issues where, it's not just chainmail where you see like a bunch of pieces at once. People would be just wearing a couple of these on their ears. And I want it to be something that I would be happy to acquire and wear and not have all these aesthetic quality issues. So these are ones that I got from Fire Mountain Gems some time ago. I got these tackle boxes from a local hardware store called Cole Fox, which I adore. Way cheaper than getting them from anywhere like an art store or whatever. Just so good in terms of pricing. And I've got a bunch of them. And so I thought that the Ring Lord would have better quality because I've always had good quality of their jump rings for making chainmail. I've gotten anodized aluminum ones. That's what these are. They're anodized aluminum blanks that have been dyed, which is how you get the color on these. They have premium ones where they are anodized and dyed after being cut so that the color is all around, but to me that's not as important as just the general quality. Anyway though, here's another one. You can just see this sort of like dull finish on it. So let's see, where is I going with this? So I got a bunch, I asked people online, like, where would you get like jewelry quality scales? And basically the only answer I got back was the Ring Lord, who were people that I was thinking of already because of the good luck I've had with these jump rings in the past. And I want something that basically is going to be the same quality as this circuit board, just to make them like look really nice together. And there's a couple of other things that I'm working on with these. But anyway, but alas, I went ahead and bought a bunch of those from the Ring Lord because I thought that maybe Fire Mountain got them from there, and that maybe getting them direct from the source would lead to a better yield. But I haven't opened these up, and part of the reason I'm doing this on a stream, on a video, is so that I can have a record of me tallying up the amounts of each one. They're like actually usable and how many of them are not really going to work out for my application. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to fix my colors here on the close-up camera. I'm going to basically show you my desk as I do this. It's supposed to look more teal. Anyway, but it's going to be a lot of sort of digging through this dragon hoard of colored metal bits and finding the prettiest ones and sorting them into little boxes and stuff, which is going to be fun and nice and aesthetically pleasing and cozy. So let's get into it. I mentioned the video gods not being kind to me this week real quick before we get into this. I have done a couple other streams this week. I did a Hackster Cafe featuring Tim Keller of Struder with this really souped up 3D printing pen. We had some connectivity issues, which unfortunately also plagued my interview with Ching Ching Shu a couple of weeks ago. But also, so this is the 2026 series so far. We've got Tim Mithra Ansel talking about custom silicon, etc. Really good, fascinating episodes. I learned a lot about 3D printing pen techniques from this fella. And then also, I did a Space Song Sunday on Sunday for the first time in months and months, but it ate it. Instagram just ate it. So that's what's been going on. For what it's worth, Space Song Sunday is this thing where every once in a while I'll go on Instagram Live and sing songs about space, including covers and originals and adaptations. I'm going to turn on one more light so I get a little bit better of a light coverage situation here, and then I'm going to dig in. 1 second. Okay, so I am back, and hopefully the lighting isn't optimal still, but I've got about as much as I'm going to get on here. Let's see, how about this? That's a little better, but now I got some shadows and stuff. Whatevs. So it goes. So maybe I'll tilt over to here where we've got a little bit better. So the three sizes that I'm working with for these are about the same as before. We've got largish ones, medium-ish ones, which are variously called small, and I think that's actually, most of them call these small. I think of them as medium because they go in the middle. And then these ones, which some places call them itsy bitsy, some call them tiny, some call them baby ones or something. I don't know. So I'm working with those different sizes, and basically I've sorted these out into the different groups that are going to go in the tackle boxes, and I've got to get the old Fire Mountain Gems ones out of there so that I have enough space. Let's zoom out a little bit. Refocus. There we go. All right, so first I'm going to do the ones that already have a place to go. So that would be these guys. Basically for my business, I'm looking at having a few base colors for the large one on the bottom, and then having a middle color and a top color. But the middle colors will be the most variety available of colors, and then I'll just have like a few base ones. That still comes to about 10 of them when you count frosted and shiny gold. We got frosted and shiny silver color, and then these are black. Did I get 2 of black? These ones are only colored on one side, which confuses me. So I've got the invoice here with a list of everything, and I'm gonna be basically, here's like a sneak peek, tallying up everything against the list and seeing how many of each work and what if there are any other issues with them, like for example the lack of coloring on the back, which I think sometimes they charge less for, but I don't know if I was charged less for that. Fortunately, they're all labeled with their type on there, so that'll help. Okay, So, I'm going to start with the black ones here. And basically I've got another tackle box here, a big one, that I'm going to be sorting the unused ones into. So the really nice ones will go in the main tackle box in their little spots. And then the other ones that are not, in my opinion, usable will go into the larger tackle box. And probably back into their individual bags. I've got tape and stuff to seal these back up. Okay, so I'm going to dump these out on here. And I advise that you put on some kind of lo-fi music or something if you want to hang out and chill with me. I'm not sure if this sound is coming through for you as well, but it's very satisfying over here. Okay, so these are labeled as large black. Alrighty, so SCAA-LG black, yes. Okay, so now I'm going to find the ones that are not scuffed. It's a little confusing because I think that maybe there are little bits of aluminum that sometimes get in here apparently. So those don't count as scuffs. I'm going to fix the white balance again because I think it somehow got off. Very strange. I'm a little blown out here with the light. That's the trouble with this ring light. There we go. Okay, how's that? Close enough? Alright. So, this filler I think is not quite where I want it to be. Let's see, what if I chuck them into another container and I can dump that whole container in? I think this is good enough. Find a container. I know I've got containers around here. But I think what I'll have to use is, let's see. Got too many containers around here, if anything. Okay. Rejects go in the reject bin. Already got little chips of aluminum around. Okay, so here's the bag. This one's nice. I feel like I should be telling you a story while I do this. Because there's a lot of these to go through. I'm not going to tell you the joke about Nate. You're welcome. Okay, maybe there's a better ratio of these than I thought. Now that I'm like cleaning them off a bit. This one is a little on the edge. So what I'm going to do with the ones that I don't choose for jewelry is I'm going to release seconds as well. So this is something I really admire with people who create stuff is, you know, I want to save the best ones for proper jewelry, but then I'll make versions that are lower cost that use the second quality ones. So basically right now I'm just going to sort out the top quality. You can see that we've got some, maybe you can see that. There's just a little bit of scuffing and stuff on this one. This is where I wish that I'd made that lo-fi device. But that's a trap. Okay, so here's the thing. I've always wanted to make a little device that would make background music for me sort of constantly while I'm doing streams like this. And that one's mostly nice, but it's got a little bit of scuffing over here and it's kind of deformed. Anyway, I want to make something that will sort of like generate music as I go along. Ah, yes, okay, so we've got some kind of machine oil on here, probably from the die cutting, which I probably shouldn't be getting on my hands, but as per usual, I will be washing my hands after this before I eat anything. It's always a good idea after I stream, especially if I'm soldering or whatever. Yeah, I want to make a little machine that makes it easy to generate music as I go along, like lo-fi or whatever. Okay, this one definitely has some artifacts. There's a whole little sort of bump on here. Maybe I'll get the focus a little tighter and show you up close. There we go. See how we've got that kind of bump thing on there? I think I'll probably go through the black ones and maybe one other color that's a little more exciting. See how we've got some scuffing on there and stuff? And then I'll sign off because no one wants to watch me do this for like 4 hours. Yeah. This one's pretty good. There was a little bit of something, but I think it would be hidden by the second tier. So basically this is the basic design with a higher quality blue one in the future. I know what happened. I made a little design or a little display to sort of show off all the different color combos I've put together, and I used my nicest ones for that. So all the ones I have sitting around on my desk here are some of the scuffed and whatever ones. So I'm gonna nest these guys together in here because it's very satisfying. You can see the ones I've chosen and the ones I have not chosen. That's pretty nice. It's got a scratch on it though. I understand the complexities involved in shipping these. Like, they actually could do with a deburring as well, which is something that I might have to work into my workflow because I'm noticing that I guess they must be die cut, and these edges are pretty okay, but like some of these are kind of have a little bit of a ridge on them. This one has a little spot. So yeah, the Ringlord also does sell premium ones, but again, I think that the main difference there is that they have been dyed after they were die cut, and therefore they might be subject to the same types of issues. They are sold in smaller packets, so maybe they have fewer issues, but you can still see some stuff going on with this one. But actually, I kind of want these to be as affordable as possible, so I really don't mind having a bunch of sort of second tier ones. This definitely needs deburring. You know, most people are probably going to be making like a whole ass super armor or something out of these, so or at least like a whole pauldron. They're not going to be looking at them super close up, so I understand why these are perfectly fine for most applications. It's just that I'm trying to find a supplier where I can get consistent jewelry quality finish on these. I think that's pretty good, actually. It's got a little nick on it. Okay, I'm going to be very discerning with these. I'm going to do it with extreme prejudice because I can always use the seconds and pick the best ones out of there, but I want to have some that I'm really, really just proud of. Okay, so I got a couple questions. Thanks for being patient with those. So, is the black color of the Maille a decal? These are made basically by anodizing aluminum, which gives it a white matte finish that's a little bit porous, and then they are dyed. And then after they are dyed, they are die cut. I've got my angle off a little here. Anyway, so basically you start out with a blank silver aluminum piece, probably a panel, and then you know, I wonder if part of the issue with this is it like domed after it's dyed? I wonder. Doesn't really look like it. So anyway, yeah, so the anodization basically just puts a matte white finish on the outside, and yeah. Oh yeah. So let me show you some examples on the internet to show you what I'm talking about. So here's the place I first bought from. They have a lot of good jewelry stuff, but also they're quite expensive if you're trying to get these scales. And as I saw, those really didn't turn out very well for me. Then I went to the Ring Lord, where you can go find scale mail supplies. These main ones that I'm working with right now are um, large scales. You can see premium finish, but I kind of like this not super mirrory finish that I've got on these ones. These ones are like a different kind of like glossy color, and they also say that they're anodized after they're punched, so the edges are anodized also. So then you end up with you don't get that silver showing at the edges. Uh, and they come in smaller packages as well. So you get, let's see, how many? What, 25? Something like that. Oh, bag of 10. Yeah, 10 for 450 or so, as opposed to 100 for 10-ish dollars. So you're getting about 5 times the price for these guys. You can also anodize titanium and niobium. I talked to this person, spiderchain.com, who's a local actually. Oh, I probably did that wrong. Spiderchain mail. Oh, oh no, weird. Anyways, they sell all kinds of different stuff. Not scale mail scales, but they do sell anodized niobium and titanium things like these. And actually, I met this person because I bought some rubber jump rings from them, and they had. I went to pick them up because they're in the Bay Area. So Spider Chain ended up actually giving me some niobium anodized ear wires in various colors, and these I think would look way nicer. But I'm not gonna find like niobium or titanium scales for any reasonable price. Like that's just not gonna happen. Maybe someday if I manage to if this thing takes off, but for now not so much. I'm gonna work with aluminum, and I'm not gonna be anodizing and dyeing my own aluminum bits. But these are apparently niobium is very reactive to the point of being called non-allergenic, not just hypoallergenic, which is very cool. So I think I'll end up buying some niobium anodized ear wires from Spider Chain in the future. But so when I look, so this current order that I'm going through is from the Ring Lord. I just put in an order from these people. We've got mail, which is amazing. Like double pun situation here. And they not only have dragon scales with this cool pebbly texture, they also have it in a lot of beautiful colors. Like these are like this dark satiny blue. Love that. Love this one. Gunmetal color also, and this like nice bronze. I love the pubbly texture, like I said, and also you can get jump rings that match the same exact color as your scales. So that's exciting. Pardon. Yeah, isn't it good? uh, so anyway, that's just another reason for me to want to support them. But anywho, they are a lot more expensive, but you can get the aluminum blanks, basically. If you get silver or, raw aluminum, I suppose, you get 100 dragon scales per pack. And all other colors, you get 25. So, it's a very intense price difference. And it says 470 here, but if you actually pick one of these colors, oh wait, how is this one? Oh, and in a large, they came out to a lot more. Anyway, they're more, well, okay, well maybe these ones are about 670, but still for like 25 versus 10 bucks for 100, we're still running at a lower value. But I'm totally willing to pay that much. A, if they come out with this kind of a finish, and B, for these lovely colors. And see, the jewelry that I'm making will have a high enough margin, hopefully, that I should be able to charge like $30 for a pair, which is pretty standard, uh, as far as I can tell for like regular earrings. Maybe more for the ones with the hand soldered PCBs and stuff. But anyway, I think I should definitely be able to charge a price that accommodates those prices for scales. So, going back to the desk. Yeah, that's how those are made basically. Yeah, is that you get these bright aluminum scales, like a silver color. They anodize them, which is sort of like an electro bath type thing. You zap them, and then is it like the surface oxidizes or something? I'm not. Well, it anodizes, which I'm not 100% sure like how that is different. At some point, I will look it up. But right now, I gotta do this thing, or else I'm gonna never do it. And then, yeah, for aluminum you dye them. For titanium and niobium, they just go that color after a certain amount of time at a certain set voltage. And that's how you get these different colors, is with like different amounts of voltage and time, which is very cool and current, I suppose. Um, and those colors, I think, are a little bit more permanent, but they are still like a surface finish. So either way, I'm going to have to deal with the surface finish and deal with the parts where we're dealing with shipping, unless I end up like right next door to someone who makes these for me, or like pay someone a ludicrous amount of money. Once again, we've got some artifacts on there, so that's not a first quality. This one also is not the first quality. These are in bags of 100, so I'm gonna try and go a little bit faster. This is nice. That's nice, actually. That one's pretty nice. Oh, having a good run. Still needs deburring, but no surface artifacts. That one's pretty nice. I'll show you a couple of the other. That one's nice too. Hey! I'm gonna shift these. I'm trying not to handle them too much because I don't want to further like scratch up any that weren't scratched up already, but also, you know, they need to be durable enough to deal with that and still be handled as jewelry in the future. You know, I'm not going to ask people to keep their jewelry in like a fussy little velvet pouch forever or something. So it's got a little nick on it. I'm going to give that a second. This one's quite scarred up. You can see how I don't want to just like use all of these, but personally, I love a scratched up gold item. I used to wear chipped gold nail polish, and to me, like, fresh gold nail polish was okay, but like chipped nail polish is where it's at, where it's sort of like rugged, like, you know, sort of rugged beauty. Anyway, so I would wear something like that, but I wouldn't feel comfortable selling it. At least without, you know, a label on it saying, this is what you're getting. You are getting a thing that has some surface artifacts. And maybe you will feel like it looks more badass because of that. Looks nice. Make some quick decisions here. One's right on the edge. I want to make sure that the ones I put in the first pile are like absolutely really nice. So I'm also taking a look at places to, like, different ways to sell online and stuff. Talking to Crowd Supply about maybe doing a Crowd Supply, like, crowdfunding campaign, since these will have electronic bits in them. Some of these are easy decisions and some of them are a little tougher. This one's quite nice. So at the end of this, I'm going to tally up how many of each, but I won't subject you to that. I will do that off screen. But I think I'll words. I think I will share it in the social media posts later on. I've got this posted on Mastodon on Blue Sky that I was about to go live with this. This one definitely has a scratch. Yeah, like, you know, I'll probably charge like $10 less for one that's got a little artifacting on it. different tiers, you know? Because I love this concept that I've prototyped out, which I really wish that I had them over here to show you. But no, I was a fool. Where basically, like, you can hide data in your earrings on micro SD cards. And I want them to be accessible to people. So having, like, a couple of different price points is not a problem for me. I'm very happy to be able to offer those. So I'm not mad at all. I just wish that it had been clearer that they would not be optimally finished. It's to be expected though. This one's pretty nice. It's kind of an odd shape, but it's pretty nice. And I get that most people who are making scale mail are making something that's quite large and not frushy little dangly thing. Okay, so another thing is that when I wrote up my page about these, all the little glittery sparklies, I'm gonna be totally like a glitter fairy, just by the, but maybe not for the best possible reason. Anyway, so on Charmware, well, for one thing, you can see like some demos of these things. It's not letting me log in on Instagram, so I can't play these for you, but you can go to Glowaski on Instagram and have a look at the demos for these. Where was I going with this? Well, you can find out more about these. Oh, yes. So, part of these pages, it explains what they are and how they work and stuff. Oh, here we go. YouTube, of course. So you can see how they sort of conceal these micro SD cards. Anyway, point being, I was pretty sure that this was not, that I wasn't the first one to come up with this concept. I hadn't seen anyone else make jewelry that is even in this shape with scale mail, but I suspected, since it's such a simple concept, that someone had done it before. Not the micro SD card part, but the just like literally the design with the like overlapping scales, right, in different sizes. I was like, this is a very obvious design to do with these scales. And that was validated because I went to the, when I was looking around on this We've Got Mail site, turns out they sell kits with earrings that are very similar. And so it validates my instinct that someone had done this type of visual design before, even if it's not the conceptual design where they've got the data in there. Where did it go? I swear they had like... I just found these today and I was like, ah, there it is. Here we go. I was like, aha, I knew someone must have done this before. Theirs are a different set of sizes together, which I quite like these, but definitely not color combos that I specifically will be going for, so there's definitely going to be enough difference between them that I won't feel like. But also, I do have it documented that, like, I wrote before that, like, I haven't seen this type of earring design anywhere, but I'm assuming it's fairly common since it's literally stacked scale mail pieces. So I did have that validated. Did not, was not the first one to think of it, but anyway. So it goes. After you've been in creative circles for a while, you kind of get an idea for like what's an obvious kind of design choice that people might have made before. So, but the data part and the custom PCBs, I think, are very novel, and that's very exciting to me. The thing is that, like, besides all that, I would be making these for myself even if someone had done it before, because I want to hide data in my jewelry. Here's another one where, like, I think this has some good character. I wouldn't sell it as, like, the focal point of a piece of jewelry, but I do think it has a very cool... Like, I would wear that, even if I wouldn't sell it. But I want to be very picky with what I actually sell as jewelry, because that, to me, is part of integrity. And it's just like, if I'm taking somebody's money, I want to make sure that they're getting something that's really beautiful and that I'm proud of. Which is classic shoot yourself in the foot kind of stuff with the videos I make, where like I would make so many more videos if I didn't have this very intense aesthetic requirement that they have to be well researched and well shot and well edited. I have no regrets about that though, because I get enough work and I have a reputation that I'm proud of. Another one with a cute little artifact. Like, if it's a big enough scratch that it kind of shows up, I think that does have a little bit of a rugged quality. Also, I'm kind of wondering if there's some other way I can use these ones that are seconds, but again, I will probably just sell those as like $10 less or something. That's pretty good. I'll also have to look at the backs of these, because like those won't show up on the outside of the jewelry, but it is a part of the jewelry piece. That's pretty good. I'll also have another look at these in daylight, because... Oh, this one. Yeah. Sometimes the finish just isn't the right color either. Like, this one looks like it's sort of got a half a dye bath. It's a little bit faded. There were some of them, like, especially there was a black one that was almost like a dark pearl color. Like a black pearl, which I love black pearls, but was not what I was expecting from a black scale. I thought it was around here. Is it? No. Well, anyway. Yeah, I think I will do... These black ones are also going to show up the best on camera. You can see this little nick in here. Rejected! That's pretty nice. My little well here is almost full. So, it's a good thing we're getting to the end here. That one's pretty nice. I would expect it to be because it was stuck to the other one. Yeah, again, there's 100 of these per bag. So, they really take a minute to go through. But I'm making these partly to just be like, I saw that there were some that had the same issues, and I wanted to be able to, if I ask for money back or a discount or something in the future, then be able to show my process and what I'm considering acceptable for jewelry and what I'm not, and also like what I think is reasonable in terms of ratio. And maybe even just be like, put some representative photos on the website so people know what to expect, because like, I know that it's hard to compare the amounts here because these ones are all snugged up together and these are all loose, so it looks like there's a lot more. It looks like maybe 50% to 40% are unmarred. That's what I would guess off the top of my head. I definitely feel like I have enough from this yield to be able to start off. So let's do some little small ones now. I'll tally these up afterwards. Yeah, like, just for reference, here's another one that I got from Fire Mountain Gems, which has some like uneven coloring. And then this one, if you contrast it to like a black one, it has this like almost a dark pearl sheen. Very interesting, which I kind of love. It looks like a bit like an oil slick, but I think that I can get a more even variety of that by getting the gunmetal ones from We've Got Maille. We shall see. Let's see, so I'm going to do some of these small ones, and I'm going to put them in one of these little 6 containers. Where did it go? So another thing the Ring Lord does is they will actually laser you a custom design, which I think is pretty cool. So if we look at the website, you can order Somewhere on here, you can get like, oh, look at these ripply ones. That's kind of cool. There's all kinds of different cool things they've got on here, as well as like plastic and leather ones and whatever, iridescent things. I kind of like these yellow painted aluminum ones. You can get precious metal ones, like, good lord. Wait, gold plated are only 163 each? I hope those have like a good quality on them. Anyway, you can get custom lasered one. Ooh. Oh, those are gorgeous. Ooh, those are tempting. Interestingly, though, you can see that they kind of just like photoshopped four of the same one on top of each other. Um, they would be heavier, which I like the aluminum for these jewelry things, these earrings, because it would be very light and my ears are kind of wussy. Like, but anyway, so I ordered some of these ones with patterns on them, and as you can see, some of these are plastic, like these fellas, but most of them are lasered on one side. And what I noticed with these before opening them is that most of these are lasered on the outside, the light convex side, which is what would usually show forwards when you're making mail, but also that some of them are lasered on what would be the inside. Actually, coincidentally, it's both of the green colors. So both these leaf ones and these Celtic design ones, Celtic knot ones, are lasered on the concave side, which surprised me, and I think is not what they showed on the site. So it's another thing that I'm kind of checking for as I go. Now, where did those 6 containers go with like the small ones? Oh, here we go. Got these ones from Ace Hardware. So let's see. Well, did I need a bigger one for these? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just leave these ones out of the tally for now because they are on the concave side, and I'm gonna check the website actually and see if it. I don't know if it ever explicitly says that they're lasered on the convex side. These are so cool. What's the deal with these anyway? The aluminum? They're flat. Huh. Doesn't really say what they're made of. Very cool though. Anyways, put a new tab for this. The laser etched ones, you can get custom ones, but let's see. Oh, you can get lasered stainless and titanium too. Woo! Oh, look at these bad boys. Most of their titanium ones seem to be out of stock, but look at these. They're so nice. Very much covet those. I swear there's a spot where you can get custom ones, but you'll just have to take my word for it. Anyway, what I was looking for was these. I think they are small size, and I think they are. Oh, it's just so nice. Oh yeah, here's like some of the custom laser etched ones. That's probably what I'd be going for. It's not even that expensive. But if we look at the Celtic knot ones and the leaf ones. Whoa. Where'd you go? Whoa, Starry Night. Here we go. Leaf. And oh, it's just hard to see on this. So yeah, when you look at these, they're always sort of etched on the convex side. And it would be fine if they were like etched on both sides, but only the concave side is a little bit of a problem. Let's see. Oh, what? Oh, it does say they're on the concave side. That's so strange. Oh, it's because they're for a specific kit, maybe. Well, what about these guys? Like, most of them are on the convex side. On the convex side, yeah. Oh, that's okay. So that's my fault for not reading it. But for to my credit, like the image does appear to show it on the convex side, although it's notoriously difficult to tell with 2D stuff. But y'all with me? I feel like it's reasonable to expect it to be what it shows. So then the other one was I thought I had opened both here, but I guess not. Oh, here we go. Leaf ones probably says concave side. Indeed. Huh. Alright, that's my bad. This is why I'm doing this. It's just really hard to tell on there, I guess. Okay. Well, yep, that's on me. So these two are fine. I will just have to maybe use them in a different way. We'll see. I won't be able to stack them with these in the same way. Part of the reason my design works with hiding the microSD cards inside is that oh, I do have at least I've got LED earrings here. Okay, so you can get this a similar idea at least. Oh no, I think I've got both. Haha! Here we go. Okay, so this is a prototype with an old board, but you can see my design here, and you can see that part of the reason it works is that this is a prototype that the new design is much prettier. But you can see that the reason it works physically is that it hides inside of the concave parts of the scales. So if the design is on the concave side, so that like, you know, in order to show, it'd have to be on the other side. It's kind of backwards. Same thing with these, where I'm working on fixing the spacing here, but once again, it kind of nestles into the concave side there. So if the design is on there, it doesn't really make sense. So I guess I'll hold on to these for now and find some other use for them, and in the meantime, just not use them for these earrings. But let's have a look at these little green ones with the dragon scale pattern, because I do feel like it's kind of like digging through a dragon horde right now. These are all pretty nice, maybe. I wonder if they select the best ones to etch. This definitely could use some deburring also. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little ridge around the hole here. It's a little messy, so I'll have to get a deburring tool, which is something I probably should have around anyway. I just don't do a lot of metal work. These actually look pretty nice, so once that, again, the little ridge gets deburred off of there, I think it'll be fine. I'm actually surprised these haven't scratched each other up more. They look really nice. So that's satisfying. You can all go in the thingy. And let's look at these Bronwells ones too, because I don't want to do like a lot of ones with the designs because I don't want them to be too busy. My personal aesthetic will definitely be guiding my choices here, because I could cater to everything. And I think I will offer custom ones, but I want to try and stick with a few basic designs. Hence the sticking to having a few base colors that I can stack. These middle ones just like have a bunch of different colors for the middle ones, and then the top and bottom ones be basically sets of silver, gold, and black. Maybe some copper. But oh yeah, I got a mixed set of these circuit board ones, as well as a bunch of black ones, because I thought they'd be interesting. Let's look at the plastic ones too. I'm very curious about those plastic ones because it's called engineered plastic, and I don't know what exactly that means. Oh, interesting. Okay, so then there's this one, which I would have anticipated that they would have the laser design sort of go beyond the edges of the scales, which maybe they do slightly when they laser etch them, but you know, I would kind of expect them to etch a whole plane or set of them at once, but it looks like this scale went outside the etching area. So my assumption is that with these ones, compared to the other plain colors, these look like they are first anodized and then dyed and then laser etched on top of that, which is fun because you can actually anodize aluminum with a laser etcher slash cutter. I've done that on an old laptop back in the day at the Ann Arbor Hackerspace All Hands Active. I lasered a little portrait I had made for a business card, a little portrait of myself, onto my old laptop, which sadly got stolen in 2019, so whatevs. Ah, open up. Okay, well, I did that a very silly way. I'm trying to keep these stickers intact, so I at least, because I'll hold on to these as sort of a record for myself of what I bought and how it turned out. I like to have multiple copies of records because you never know what'll happen. Okay, interesting. So it looks like it is a plastic shell. Oh, it looks like it was injection molded, maybe. Little artifacts on there. And then the black is definitely a little sort of surface on there. I'm curious if that's like a... Is it screen printed, maybe? Or like, what do they call it? Dip printed or something? Very interesting. Not my style, really, but I was very curious about, like, because I could also conceive of this being like a multi-material resin print or something, where they print the whole thing. But it makes a lot more sense for them to make the various colors and then print the design on top, especially since I think, oh my, I think you can get these little plastic ones in multiple designs. Some of which have like a white design on them instead of black. Kind of cute. I'm not really into plastic jewelry, but I like that these exist. Okay. As you can tell by my big yawn, I'm getting pretty sleepy, but very happy to have finally gone through these because I've got a ton of colors of these things to go through. All these different colors, some of which are already earmarked for specific friends, like this hot pink one. Kevin from Jumperless, I've promised a pair of earrings, and I'll make sure that he gets top quality hot pink and black on his earrings. So I'm also going to be making versions of these LED earrings with pink LEDs, which I have some of them from before. And the whole deal here is that they like reflect back on your skin and look really cool, like other jewelry I've made before. So anyway, Kevin will be getting pink and black versions. But I wanted to at least have like a record of me opening some of these from scratch, so that if I ran into a high rate of failure or, something that felt unreasonable, then I'd be able to be like, hey, look at this. And I'll probably record the other ones, but won't just drone on at midnight as my brain slowly leaks out of my ears in the future. All right, thanks for joining me for a sort of hack o'clock, very much sort of dragon horde sorting time. It is very fun, just like doing the little tactile thing with these, and it's satisfying to sort through them and stuff and be like, this one is up to my standards, this one is not. I don't know. And to their credit, even the ones from Fire Mountain Gems, there are a lot of them that look pretty nice. I just want to make sure that I'm offering people top quality if they want to pay the top price for it, and then have all the rest of them be available at a lower price so that people can hide data in their earrings no matter how much money they have. All right, so stay tuned. You can follow the hashtag Charmwear on Blue Sky or Mastodon if you want to see what I'm up to. I'm going to continue posting updates about these things. You can also sign up for the newsletter, which I forgot I had. Oh yeah, this is, you know, I just I love sharing this and like seeing who pops up and saying hi and sharing these little cozy moments because to me it's very satisfying and it makes it fun to share. And so when I launch shop, I will. Oh yeah, here's some previous versions of that data PCB. Maybe I'll give y'all a sneak peek real quick. So, these light up ones are representative of what the final shape will be for the data ones. And I'll show you a design or two that I'm working on for the data ones. So I do these all in Procreate. You can see the LED ones design here with this is the LED location where that's mounted. There's a resistor that goes across here. There's a switch that goes here. So these are the 3 contacts for the switch. And did it? So oh no, that's the symmetry line. Okay. And then here's the back side of the light up one that has the battery spot on it. So you can kind of see under here it's battery contacts shaped like rose petals. So for the data ones, I haven't ordered these yet, but what I'm working on is a number of different designs with like also incorporating rose petals, but like this is where the socket goes for the micro SD card holder. And then here's another one where you can see sort of like, you can imagine a rectangle where the socket would go and all those brass slash gold, or well, they'd be gold coated copper areas are where there would be contacts for soldering on the micro SD card socket. So very excited about those. I just think they're, I love handling little things that I made and I think they're just lovely. I mean, of course I do because I made them. So anyway, you can stay tuned for more updates on those and when they come out. And eventually I'll be launching a shop. Thanks to the aforementioned Kevin, I've decided to go with Shopify, I think. But we will see. You can also follow my YouTube and Instagram for more little just preview videos, which again, sadly will not play right now, but so it goes. Anyway, thanks for hopping on, and I will be back soon with another update. See ya.